Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Roottrees are dead. I said that I was gonna be probably jumping from one game to the other. I kind of wanna play a cinematic game, which I'm playing God of War 2018, and I might dive myself into this puzzle game here that is overwhelmingly positive on Steam, and I trust that. So let's see about the settings. Here we go. Menu, we got language, show evidence, intuition, display a number of evidence that indicates if there are more leads to track down. Disabling this increases the difficulty of the game. Let's just leave it for now. Enable search all for periodicals. Enabling this makes certain puzzles significantly easier. Graphics. You got full screen here, resolution goes okay. Texture quality goes up to high, shadow quality goes up to high, room detail, there's not much here. VSync because I'm running the game. What? Oh, my Steam thing's not popping up. Frame rate limit. I don't think we need performance here. I lowered the volume a lot because Jesus, the game is loud. Look at this, so loud. Oh my God! Go back down. I just need subtle sound. And accessibility, CRT monitor defects. Light strobing, we're gonna get those at some point apparently. Reading font size, I'm okay with medium, if this is medium. Camera transitions to from room, they're disabled or always. Just leave it. Let's go. I gave it a whirl and it's running fine, so let's just go new game. Whoa! We got the Roottrees are dead. The mystery begins here. And Roottree Mania. This mystery will unlock once you finish the Roottrees are dead. Okay, it's like a new game plus or what? I will go and save here. Yeah, delete it. The Roottrees are loading. Ha! Not that yet, they're loading. December 6, 1998. Oh, whoa.
The plane that crashed last night just outside of Pittsburgh is now known to have been the private jet of the Roottree Corporation. Local aviation authorities have speculated, based on the pilot's final communication, that the winter storm and heavy winds played a significant role in the crash. On board were multiple family members, including corporate president Carl Roottree and his daughters, the Roottrie sisters, best known for their fashion lines and modeling careers. There were no survivors. Again, for those of you just joining us, the Roottrees are dead.
That's the title. Hey.
I know it's late, but I'm guessing you've seen the news. In addition to dealing with the grief, the Roottree Company's lawyers are scrambling. Everything's about to change. Anyone proven to be a blood relative is about to get much richer. I'm here to ensure everyone is accounted for.
Damn.
I've heard you're an expert at sorting out complicated family trees. A genealogy genie, as it were.
Sure.
I'm going to give you a quick test. Pass, and I can promise you the job of a lifetime.
Whoa, okay. Complete the family tree of the Roottrie sisters. Siblings are in birth order from oldest to youngest. These are the Roottrie sisters, okay. Sleuth. Right, we have examine my evidence. So we got a plus or minus here to zoom in and out. Unknown name because probably one of the sisters is married to someone. Siblings we know are in birth order from oldest to youngest. We got a menu here. Family tree. We can open with F1. I'm assuming it's this. Evidence. Open with F2. PC. Home. Notebook. Hint. Currently playing music. Melody by Jeremy Johnston, arranged and performed by Manuel Trabuco. Visit artist site. Cool. Alright. To-do list. I love to-do lists. I do them all the time and never look at them again. So let's start with this one. Examine my evidence. Whoa. got milk picture and list of names. Those are my two evidence. What is it? Show everything. Show photo items. Oh, I can filter. And text items, like this one. Oh. Right, so let's go milk picture. Jesus. Zoom in. Zoom out. Alright, I'm seeing who looks the youngest. I feel like this one in the middle looks the youngest. And this one looks the oldest because, yeah, whatever. I am just making big assumptions here. The person who hired you to give you this photo with a note attached. This was taken during the shoot for the Roottrees Sisters Got Milk ad. I've tracked down a test photo from before they painted the fake mustaches on which I thought will be more appropriate considering the circumstances. The ad's copy reads, "You might recognize our faces from the magazine you're reading, or you might recognize our name from the candy bar you're eating. Being a Roottrie is a full-time job, but so is growing up. That's why the calcium found in milk is so important. Plus, you can't make chocolate without it." That's stupid. Right, the picture. Whoa, whoa, what is this? Click on the faces. Oh, cool. Got it. Those are my notes. Like, to pick anything else? Can I like get... Ring. She's the one married, see? She's married, so she's the oldest. Evidence. Alright, anything else? There we go. The lace was provided to you by the mysterious person who showed up at your door. You'll need it to fill the family tree. Women! A bunch of names here, Ben Deborah. A lot of Roottrees here. Candy, Carly, Gwendolyn, Gwen, Christina, Lauren, Margolite, blah, 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 blah. And men. We have plenty of people cataloging everything like the cereal. Madsen, Morden, Rafferty. Bunch of Roottrees here. Sheridan, Wilson. Nonsense. Right. Am I finished? Yes. So, search the internet for clues. So I actually went to my PC. I got a welcome text here. Welcome to the Information Superhighway. Thanks for purchasing a new Cashew PC. Cashew Pad, welcome.text. Your PC is equipped with a 56K modem, which is fast enough to access any site on the World Wide Web, even those with high-resolution images. Nice. If you find anything interesting, be sure to print it out with your included high-end color laser printer or burn a music CD to listen to later. If you want to revisit search results, be sure to use Netscape Explorer's new history feature. Happy surfing, and remember, Cashew PCs are delicious. Cashew PCs are inedible. Do not try to eat your computer. Right. What is it? We have no new notifications. No documents printed right now. It's 7 p.m. 6 December 1998. And let's go to the internet. Oh my god, I love that sound. I was alive during this time, so I know that sound very well. Used it every day. Spider search. It is my next Scrape Explorer. Okay. Alright. Pro tip, you can create notes quickly by highlighting text with your mouse. No history yet. Alright, Roottrees Sisters. Does that work? There are a lot of obituaries that focus on the Roottrees Sisters as modeling careers. You can also come across an unofficial Roottree fan site, seemingly curated by a teenager. It's neon pink with purple text and hard to read until you highlight her words. The young webmaster writes, Raina is the most famous because she's the oldest and got married to TMS. Raina. Please note this. Can I highlight? Yeah, cool. Whoa. Raina's the most Roottrees type of note. I can add pages. That's okay. Back. Riley is the smart one. Rose is a middle child like me. Right. And then Riley. Smart one. You may think they are rich just because they are models, but their dad is also the president of the candy company, and their mom, Brenda, is a fashion designer. Their mom, Brenda. They do the modeling for her brand, Root. Okay. I eat Roottree candy all the time. My favorite are maple crisps. And try to dress in plaid root clothes like Riley does in most of the posters. So Riley's the smart one and the smallest. And Riley... Wait. Dress in plaid root clothes like Riley does in most of the posters. That's a note. Someday I want to get my ears pierced like Rose. The website's author continues to talk about her own life and what she likes about the Root fashion lines, but none of it is relevant. Alright, this helps a lot. Do I need to anything else? Oh no. Here, to-do list. Fill in the names. Oh. Wait, so they're all models, don't it? There we go. I don't know. That I got the check. I don't know if it's correct. So the names. All this one. Can I see my notes? Rhina. Right now. Hey, I have a picture here. It's you. And the smallest has plaid. This girl. More notes. Rose and Riley. So Rose. Riley. I don't know what's going on with Riley. What are you? Whoa. I've been played. Miracle third? Miracle Junior? Get the hell out of here. Jack. No, Gwendolyn Gwyn. Figure out what's incorrect. The name of her because it's not showing up. Rose is the middle child. Their mom Brenda. Riley. Only my ear pierced like Rose. You see, Rose has her ear pierced, but her name is not showing up. Makes no freaking sense. Fill in the names. Eloise. Dude, it says Rose. Okay. Rose Roottree, real name. Rose Roottree is not as popular as her older sister Rhina, but still very well known. Most of the time, they're lumped together as the Roottree sisters. Unfortunately, the results for Rose by herself don't lead to anything different than when searching for the sisters together. Why? There's no Rose. What? Who could be November? Bro, I'm about to just... Right, you can see her. I'm about to go one by one. Corley? How does that work? How does that work? These three entities are correct and have been locked. You've also locked the following optional entries. Known. Booyah! Oh, I have a visit.
Sorry to test you, but I had to be sure you could use the internet. Some folks refuse to get with the times. Safe to say, you're hired. The reward for untangling the family tree is substantial. Life-changing, even. But here's the catch. The Roottrees go way, way back. The family tree's a bit daunting. Most people freak out the first time they see the whole thing. But I'm sure you'll be fine. The man who started it was particular about whom he considered family. For your purposes, you only need his direct blood relatives. Anyone related only by marriage is optional, but filling them in can lead to useful discoveries.
Okay.
Lastly, you now have access to some unique websites, plus a list of notable Roottrees.
Notable Roottrees.
Notable people are easy to find via your search engine, and marked with stars on the family tree. I'm off for now. Carl Roottree had a lot in his office. I'll look for anything useful. I'll return once you identify 6 more blood relatives.
Okay. Oh.
Sorry, one last thing. This might sound odd, but if anyone else claiming to represent the Rootrees reaches out, I'd appreciate you not mentioning I was here. Thank you, and good luck.
It's a little bit sus. Yay. 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 Alright, these are important people. That's what I got. Gwyneth and Elias. Sleuth. It's found in 1908 by Gwyneth and Elias. Before the person who hired you returns, every time you get 3 additional blood relatives in the family tree completely correct, name, occupation, and portrait, they will be locked in. All non-blood relatives and small portraits are optional, but placing them in the tree helps remove extra names and photos. Got it. Once you verify this person, you'll be able to add bonus photos. Whoa. I'm still confused on the Carly thing. Carly Roottrie. You discover a trivia page that lists common trick questions. The answer to what are the first name of the famous Roottree girls lists the answers Raina, Carly, and Riley. The explanation below the answer states that Rose was originally born Carly Rose Roottree. Apparently, her parents had planned to name a son called Roottree Jr., but after finding out they were having a second daughter, they called her Corley. Sometime in the 90s, now preteen Carly strongly expressed her dislike that her sister had RH names and she was the odd one out. That's when she began to go by her middle name. Freaking hell. Right, so we have a... We do know the names. Elias. Oh, was it Elias or Elias Jr.? Good one. You don't have any portraits. Are there more Brendas? Hey. The Roottrie sisters and their parents died in a plane crash on December 6th. The next evening, a shadowy figure appeared at your door, said the lawyers, family tree. Try a quick test, figure give you a notable Rootrees who said it would be the easiest family members to place. They said they will return in the time it took, fill out 6 more blood relatives. Okay. Okay, this is good. They got Carl. What are these? You've been in this line of work a long time, so long in fact you develop a sixth sense of how useful your evidence can be. The numbers in the magnifying glass refer to how many clues are connected to a specific piece of evidence. The higher the number, the more there is to find. At the start of your search, the notable list sets off alarm bells, a list of famous people that you can find via search engine. It's pretty rare to get something that useful. Best take advantage of it. As you progress, these numbers will change. Whenever you find more evidence or locking family members, new discoveries will be added to the list, and old evidence will become less useful. Trust your intuition. If a piece of evidence seems too good to be true, take a closer look at the people or phrases it mentions. Often, the most satisfying revelation comes from retracing a path you thought was fully explored, armed with a new perspective. Sometimes the reason certain evidence has such high value is because it can lead to finding more evidence. You may be missing a huge piece of the puzzle. Got it. Here we go. List of notable Roottrees. Person you hire. Everyone could be. So you find search of the Rootree sisters. Got it. Any entry on the family tree that belongs to someone on this list will be marked with a star. Right. What is this? Here's an advertisement for 5 pieces aimed at kids from the magazine Teen Blast. It mentions that the 5 pieces were named as such because the original creator had 5 children. The ad also mentions that the current 5 flavors are not the same as back then. Strawberry, chocolate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 flavors because the original inventor had 5 kids. Maybe that's why kids still love them. Radical new flavors because no longer in the 1920s or it's an elderberry, whatever. Interesting. So what is this? Show marketing items. Oh. So who had 5 children? There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These guys created it. What's going on with this? You can open this envelope after the whole family tree has been filled in. It has 2 names then, but if you type in manually, the clues are obscure, have been intentionally hidden in the past, and may even require some leaps in logic. Try to keep an eye out for any inconsistencies. No one here has a star split up, guardian, adoption, or otherwise. Wow. No one here has a star, and no one from here has a star. Don't forget, family trees use surnames from birth, even if the person changed their last name after marriage. Always use a person's most recent occupation. Genealogy for Joneses. Okay. So the people that really matter are these 3 children. The other 2 are kind of weird. They're not famous. But these children then gave birth to 4 more children. Right. This is probably Carl, CEO, who died with his and wife Brenda. We're gonna go Elias and Gwyneth. Cool, there are 2. Anderson and Madsen. Okay, we don't know. Founded in 1908. Let's go to the internet. I think I'm gonna need a new page. My evidence. No. The notable Roottrees, please. I'm gonna go with Carl or Elias and Gwyneth. Let's go Carl, Elias and Gwyneth. Let's just go Carl Roottree. Search him. Just Carl. What can you tell me about this guy? Carl Roottree died in a recent plane crash along with his wife Brenda Roottree and their daughters Roottrees sisters. You know, Brenda is definitely president of the Roottrees Candy Company as well as the clothing company Root, which he co-founded with his wife. There is a short press release that the Roottrees Candy Company released today with news organization. Carl Brenda, the Roottrees is the other employees perished in the travel tragedy. Requesting privacy at this time as head of our company. Carl was an incredible man and an unmatched leader, feeling his absence difficult. We hope that you join us in looking back fondly on Carl and his family's triumphs and accomplishments. They go into list those accomplishments. One of them seems relevant to your search. Like his great-grandfather before him, Carl earned the highly prestigious Watchman of the Year title. Business Watch magazine is a magazine focused on companies, CEOs, and in the economy. Okay, so let's go back. Not yet. Carl. Can you change this to president? Oh, what? Does this make sense? I don't have a picture of him yet. Could be CEO or president. Then there's a freaking first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Hell out of here. It's not fun. And the company CEOs in the economy, they've been around for 100 years in one form or another. They would write about major changes in the management of famous companies. Every year they offer an award to a prominent businessman who has furthered the field. They call this Watchman of the Year. You find through a few searches that 2 Roottrees have been featured as Watchman of the Year: Elias Roottree and Carl Roottree. Business Watch doesn't hold any online archives on any site you can find via spider search, though you may be able to find individual articles and issues through periodical search. Elias, 1936, and Carl in 1987. Great-grandfather, so this is father, grandfather, and great-grandfather. Yeah. Maybe. I'm making assumptions. I gotta start somewhere. What is this? Oh, no. Okay, I think I did. Yeah, spider search. Nice. It's a cool feature. And a highly prestigious Watchman of the Year. That's it. Not more. We got Brenda. We got Brenda right, alright? It says white, but yeah. It's the only Brenda. What did it say here? Family trees use surnames from birth, even if the person changed their last name after marriage. Always use a person's most recent occupation. Most recent. It says president, but okay, I don't know. Right, so time to search for Elias. See if we can find something about them. It's one of the most up-to-date and advanced search engines around. Modern technology has its limits. Recommended search for only one person. Okay. Printing Elias alt.jpg. Okay. Elias Roottrie was the founder, first president. Yay. Founder and first president. Was essentially a propaganda site about him. Created the Roottree Company. At the top there is a picture of him and his wife Gwyneth. That picture has been added to your evidence. Thank you. There is also a biography section that has some additional information. Elias is credited for inventing 5 pieces, a popular maple candy. Before that, the farm he inherited by marrying his wife only produced syrup. Ooh. After 5 pieces became widely successful, Elias spent his time and energy on cementing his reputation as a family man. He is quoted on the side as saying, "Blood is thicker than syrup, and that any child linked by blood to me shall be linked by blood to my legacy." The site enthusiastically claims that he made a good on that promise, but offers no additional detail. There are a few more quotes about Elias from a book called Family Man. Oh, there we go. Shit. No. To say they are biased is a massive understatement. Below that, there is a long list of accomplishments and awards, and one stands out like his great grandson Carl Elias was voted Watchman. Okay, we got that already. Let's see here. Roottrees sisters. Elias and Gwyneth. Whatever it's called. Oh, we got a lead. We got a lead here. And of course the picture we printed. And I don't know if this means something, but I still don't know what the periodicals is for. I don't quite get it. So Gwyneth finds some information. First, Anderson Maple. There are a few pictures, including a famous picture of Elias and Gwyneth. Okay. Before marrying Elias, Gwyneth Roottrie was Gwyneth Anderson. There we go. She had no brothers, so as the older sister, she was to inherit the Anderson Maple farm, so long as she married. Damn it. Before Elias took over, the farm produced only syrup. It was supposedly Elias' idea to create candy instead. Their success was not immediate until they decided to combine the maple with other flavors. This led to 5 pieces, which are still found in stores to this day. Roottree Candy Company expanded well beyond their original farms and preserved as a tourist attraction. According to our website, there are still daily demonstration and educational tours show many of the turn-of-the-century appliances that Gwyneth would have used as a housewife in the early 1900s. So, what is her profession? Housewife. Time to go to evidence. You know what? Let me just my notes. My notes. I want to check this. Damn it. It's the other way. Non-fiction, an old book by Elias Roottrie. There's no downloadable version available because the book is impossible to find these days. Non-fiction anthology. Okay, any... What is this? Oh, hints. Never mind. Let's go. Wait, evidence. Oh, wow. Look at these guys. Hey. Here's a famous picture of Elias and Gwyneth Roottrie. It was taken in 1909 after they founded the Roottree Candy Company, but before it was a success. From what you found searching the internet, it seems quite difficult to find any site about Elias or Gwyneth that isn't accompanied by this picture. Elias and Gwyneth are on the notable Roottrees list of your evidence. It will be marked on the star chart. Whew, we got a picture. When will I know? One, two, three, four. Or there was a fifth. Yeah. I don't have a picture for him yet. Gwyn Roottrie. You find some information on a website about all films. Gwyn. They are not yet available on VHS. The site is not very well organized. The search is broken, but you can get to individual pages from your search engine. Gwyn Roottrie is a somewhat well-known actress who was active in 1950s. She often appeared in tabloids, especially around the time of her highly publicized divorce. Her biggest role was the minor hit movie Guys Like Us. She left Hollywood after the flop of Christmas Mission. Widely circulated picture of Gwyn from behind the scenes on one of her movies, which you've added to evidence. Did you know, trivia, Gwyn was the granddaughter of Elias Roottree, the founder of Roottree Candy. She shouldn't have been named Roottree, but her father took her mother's famous name, which was quite rare in those days. I'm confused about this. Hold on a minute. So Gwyn is granddaughter of Elias, founder. She shouldn't have been named Roottree, but her father took her mother's famous name. Got it. Okay, so we have to search for a divorce that happens. There are two splits here. Granddaughter. So this is daughter and granddaughter. This is just who we searched. Yeah. The other ones, this one don't have star. This one either. So we're speaking about the ones with the star. Actress. She divorced. Gwyn Roottrie, because this was a Roottrie, but the dude picked her name, her last name. Okay, got it. Okay, let's go back to pictures. Hey, hello. This photo is a widely circulated photo of Gwyn Roottrie. You have seen it on multiple websites about all films. Notable Roottries in the list. Let's go. Anything else? No more now. No, nothing else. We are here. No. Got your picture. Wait. Well done. Woo! These three entries are correct and have been locked. President, housewife, actor. You've also locked the following optional entry. White Brenda. I don't get it. You've also locked the following optional entry. White Brenda. What? What are you talking about? Oh, because I unlocked Brenda. Okay, got it. They're yellow because they're done. I love it. This is good trivia about Gwyn. Guys Like Us. In which two secretaries cut their hair short, puts the businessman life on the falls in love with their client, starring Gwyn Roottree, Leslie Flores, and Harrison Lane. The title is a play on words, and it can be read that the two we men are men similar to other men, or that the men are fond of them. You find some information on a website about all films that are not yet available. VHS, blah blah. War movie about World War One released in 1955. At the role of the soldier's wife for him later specified. The movie was marketed as an incredible true story, but no record of events happening has ever been found. Shall we? What is this? My evidence? Whoa! Components from the article can scan some made in the cover have been added to you. What is this? Periodicals, watch mono. What are the internet's largest database of magazines and newspapers? Okay, that's what we're getting. So okay. Nothing. Okay. Hmm. We already did this, right? Okay, we have to find here, and if we find a book, then we'll try to collect that as well. Never mind. Okay. Let's search for this guy. No, 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 no. Remove this. Spider, search this guy. Who's Red Roottrees? Hold on a minute. You find information on the website. Strange historical. Aloysius Herring Roottree, aka Red. Jesus. The Achen politician who earned his nickname ironically because he was the ambassador to Ireland for only about 6 days. He served what some people contend is the shortest term in history. A few days after he was appointed, he was heard disparaging his position and the Irish people. He then tried to run for state senate. He claimed to be related to the Roottree Candy Company in a newspaper ad, but it came out that the last name was merely a coincidence and he was defeated in a landslide. What? So he's not a Roottree? Damn it. State Senate, nothing. Getting nothing. Watchman of the Year, huh? Elias Roottrees was voted Watchman of the Year. And the painting of him appears on the cover. The magazine says he was voted Watchman. He specifically recognized the global role of the 5 pieces. Colorful shell-coated maple candy is that being pressed into the shape of maple leaf, huh? Looks more like a berry. It stays changed over the years, so have the 5 flavors, but the shape combination of maple remain consistent. There's also a history of print advertising website. It claims to have a 5-piece advertisement scanned from a book called The Sweet History of Candy by Chris Lee. Lee. It's a book series about all things candy in the modern world. It starts 1925, continues on a chronicle, race, mass production, global distribution. The book ends with a look at the future of candy, with the addition of hindsight. It includes some print advertisements you find in a newspaper after 5 pieces from the 1930s added to evidence. Okay. Back to Spider Search. 5 pieces because we were somewhere else. Yeah, we were here. Alright, inside the article, Elias forms Roottree Corporation, marrying his wife, who inherited Maple Farm. During this period of 5 pieces, the company is barely profitable. Woo! Let me pour some coffee here. Elias had a daughter, first of 5 children. Okay. First of 5 children, 4 more to follow. 22 Elias with 5 pieces. Each of the 5 flavors is chosen based on the initials of his 5 children. 1 flavor per child. Sold in some Pittsburgh market. Roll out to all New England. New recipe and flavor is finalized. In the candy begins nationwide distribution in department stores, other shops everywhere. Purchases every available Maple Farm in Pennsylvania in preparation for the global rollout. With the help of his son Elias Roottree Jr. architecture firm. An industrial factory and warehouse is built in Butler County. Production is tripled in worldwide distribution. There is also a what's next section that claims Elias is going to pivot to ensuring his company's legacy and the Roottree Candy Company remains in a family business. Plan to do this with the Collins Trust. This is good. And Elias has the first of 5 children. First is a daughter then. I still don't know the. Oh. So, Elias Jr., which flavor are you? Makes no sense. Alright, let's go with Carl Jr. Has another picture here for you. Coverage of who's in the corporate world. Carl Roottrees was a watchman, according to the cover Business Watch magazine, foreign about corporate leaders and who's in the corporate world. Carl was chosen not for his work at Roottrees Candy, but were a clothing company, Root. It's a brief history. Before they married, Carl's wife Brenda was a fashion consultant. When Raina was born, Brenda retired to become a stay-at-home mother, looking for a creative outlet. She spent any free time she had at the sewing machine. Raina's new clothes were a hit with other parents, including Carl's cousin Jim Roottrie. Carl's cousin Jim Roottrie. Notable singer, with a young daughter around the same age as Raina. Kill Carl. I think into Brenda's pattern were being copied by other brands, saying that the man Carl and his second cousin Ernie Jr., who had just become president of Roottree at the time, spearheaded Root. Interesting. Other blood. Okay. Second cousin. Carl's cousin Jim. Notable singer. Other blood relatives who have a say in the company's finances refused to fund anything other than candy, so Carl personally spent his entire inheritance to bankroll the clothing company. When the profits began to appear, however, the rest of the family changed their tune. They repaid his investment, and now Root exists under the umbrella of the candy company, and they all benefit. Per tradition, or perhaps superstition, new clothes always debuted the way the first ones did. What? New clothes always debuted the way the first one. Raina became their catalog's cover model. As she grew, the product line expanded to older kids as well. Her younger sisters were then recruited to show off the baby clothes. Carl was voted Watchman of the Year primarily for his personal gamble and ensuing payoff. Mm-hmm. No pictures here. 5 pieces. Let's see. Found these advertisements in The Sweet History of Candy, Volume 2 by Charles Lee. It's from 1928, 6 years after the debut of 5 pieces. It states the flavors are inspired by the children, and the other are grape, elderberry, cinnamon extract, melon, and the newest flavor, miracle berry. I can basically go towards Carl. Get a picture of him. This guy has a new picture, I assume. When you say cousin, if this is your father or your parents, it is the son of someone of your uncles. These are your uncles. So it is either one of these. The note said Elias Roottrees Jr. architecture firm. Elias is going to be insurance company legacy. Where is that? No, Carl. Rhino's clothes were a hit with other parents, including Carl's cousin Jim Roottree, a notable singer who had a young daughter around the same age as Rhina. Word spread. Am I safe to assume that this is Jim, notable singer? Frank. So we got Clancy. Jim is James. And there's a singer here. Whoa. Advertising. Damn it. There's no singer. So there's either artist, baby, cashier, CEO, dancer. No. So, artist? I'm assuming it's notable and it has a star, so I'm gonna assume it's famous. And I forgot, like when you say second cousin, which was the other clue here, Ernie Jr., who had just become president, Carl and his second cousin. Oh, whoa. Two splits here. Didn't have children with the split. He had one children with the split. And then he's got married. One son married. It's too hard for me. What is the second cousin here? Okay. Looking for more notable Roottrees. We got the names here. Can we assume? Let's start. Let's try to assume. They first had a daughter. And the daughter is... Oh, friggin' hell. First of 5 children is the daughter. Grape, elderberry, cinnamon extract, melon, and newest flavor, miracle berry. You're joking. G, E, C, E, M. Interesting. M. There are 2 M's. Fuck off. The word's G. It has to be a woman. Gwendolyn. Let's start removing names. Elderberry is the only E, and then CN. Oh, could be Elias Jr. You got an Elias. And Elias Jr. is the first Elias. I mean, the second Elias in the line. I'm gonna assume something really heavy going on in here. What's the other one? Cinnamon extract. Candy. Carl. C. Clancy Edward cinnamon extract. There you go. Melon. Who's shit? Get the fuck out. What is this? Margalite, Miracle, and then Miracle Junior and Miracle Third. I was gonna go with Miracle because there could be, you know, you're not Junior. Miracle Berry. It's Miracle. Never mind. The other. Melon will be the other end. Margalite. Margalite. And then we got Miracle here. So Miracle will have Miracle Junior. And Miracle Junior will have Miracle Third. Ha. I'm just going to put it right away. Good one. I don't know who's... One of them has a star. Yeah, there's a Miracle Junior is famous. What is this? Is that a fish? We scratched that guy. Okay, Jim. We put him somewhere. Yeah, probably this notable dude here. Let's go with Jim. Kind of have him pinned down now. Spider search. Let's open this and open a page just for Jim. James Roottrees, singer who sings in the duo Jim and Diamond with his wife Diamond LaRue. Oh. The duo, according to many sources you find, is considered a one-hit wonder due to the disco song Rolling Down on the City. It's now in your evidence folder. Thank you. Although Jim writes the majority of the song, plays the guitar, and often sings, Diamond is considered by fans to be the band's lead singer. The band never had another hit, but it has its fan who refer to themselves as Diamond Dazzlers. The rest of their music is more folksy and acoustic than the one song they were known for. Jim and Diamond have continued to release music through the 80s and early 90s. Other albums you find mentioned are Cherry Tree, Sound of Laughter. Jim has become a bit of a recluse, and he hasn't made a public appearance since 1996. Alright. Search the wife. Oh, sorry, mate. So, oh no, this terrible text thingy. Oh, it just gave me the same result. Jim and Diamond then. They just give me the same. Very successful song based Roottrees fan page, and he states his lyrics and guitar are credited to Jim Roottrees, and the vocals are credited to Diamond LaRue. Got it. Cherry Tree album. Printing song. What? Turn to form. CD has apparently so hard to find in stores that some fans resorted to selling cassette bootlegs of it. There's a music commerce website that claims to sell the album, but it's sold out at the moment. You do find a short sample of one of the songs called Sun. You add it to your evidence. the only magazine I have. Ooh. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Right, let's go here. I'm pretty sure this is the guy. So, LaRue. Hey. Some of the last names here. Maybe they used her last name for this? That'd be interesting. That'd be definitely very interesting. Okay. We're not done with Jim Roottrie. Whoa. Cherry tree.
There blazed a spark of light that ever brightly shone. From her starting days, imparting wisdom to conquer life unknown. Though someday she'd depart in part, I'd never be alone. In my heart I'll always be the son of...
How their place, the spark of light ever brightly shone. From the start as his important wisdom to conquer life unknown. Though someday she departed, in part I'd never be alone. In my heart I'll always be the son of. Get the hell out of here! What? How's this a... Rolling down the city. They have a face now. Jim and Diamond. A scene in MMM. Only the great grandson of Elias Roottree could make disco this sweet. Peter Gemini's MMM. Rolling it down to the city. Jim and Diamond.
We're rolling, rolling, rolling on down to the city.
Top 20 hit for a few weeks in 1979, according to the liner notes. It satirizes how a part of society was content to remain indifferent to economic inflation and civil unrest in the Middle East. Unless pop culture tricked them into caring, somewhat ironically, listeners didn't seem to pay attention to the lyrics enough to trick them into caring. Instead, most of its play came from the roller discos. Because it was such a product of its time, it doesn't get much play anymore, even on stations that play oldies. Maybe that's why you never heard of it before now. This image is from an auction for a sealed copy. It has a sticker that says, "Only the great-grandson of Eli Roottrie could make disco this sweet." It is created by Peter Janowicz from MMM. Jim Roottrie vocals by Jim Roottrie and Diamond LaRue. Your evidence will be marked on the chart with a star. We're rolling, we're rolling. Really rolling. On the wheels we glide. Our pride, pick our fate. Guys all rush. Politicians at large. Bankers in charge of all clowns. I'm wondering if this guy... Really? Modern Music Monthly, before the magazine went under. Whoa. Got it. Peter Janowicz wrote a great many reviews and articles for modern music. You don't see anything relevant in the history pages and so to if you're looking for specific album names or artist names, you may better look searching for those instead. Yeah, let's go. A review and interview. Hitmaker Jim goes first band. Until a few days ago, Diamond and I were in the. What the hell is this? Diamond and I were in C and J plus J and D with my cousin and his ex. What the hell? Clark never knew his father, so our grandpa insisted he spent time with my dad and me. As a result, Clark and I grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters. So the four of us had sort of a cutesy family band thing going on. Not our finest hour regardless. Shit, this is big. When Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with her younger sister, everything exploded. What? No more family band. Yes, this is good. Well, the only thing Clark and I had in common was music. So Clark is your cousin. Jane. We need to find this later. Hold on. The only thing Clark and I had in common was music. But even then, we never agreed on what it should be. He was always more interested in catchy tunes, something you hum a week later. I've been told rolling is like that, but that wasn't my goal. When he called me up and he said he liked it, I took it as a sign I was going in the wrong direction musically. That made him laugh, but I'm trying to make art. I don't mind saying any of this because he'd agree. For most of the decade, he was a mess. But he's a lot happier now. He started Rafer Tunes. He's a much better jingle writer than songwriter. One of the benefits of our famous family is a massive company willing to be a client. That's also how my father was connected to Roottree. All of his old ad campaigns were hung on the walls over the record player, but I was never interested. I just went straight for the music. I guess Clark was paying more attention. Jesus, that's good. Whoa. In an article from 1968, you find a small section focusing on young, upcoming talent that modern music monthly predicts will make it big. It has this to say about the LaRue's. LaRue's sister got her start doing session work for their great uncle's record label. If you remember any songs from 1960, 1965 that featured the voices of kids, they were probably involved. Back then, they were credited as the Lucky LaRue's. Now that he's passed, they moved on to bigger and better ventures and are going by their full names. Diamond and Jane have been touring with some famous faces. Ever heard of the Roottrees and are looking to release an album sometime in the next year? Youngest Kim is about to step into a prominent role Broadway, taking over for one of the children in Oliver. Jesus. Same. That's big. What else do we have? Okay. You what? Um. Okay, time for. Jane Del Vecchio is listed as. Wait, what? Jane Del Vecchio is listed on a talent for hire site as a wedding singer. Way down in the credentials section of her biography, it mentions she got her start as a young girl when she was Jane LaRue of the Lucky LaRues. Shit, this is a new page. Hold on a minute. To only contact her agent in the event that you actually wish to hire her, and that any and all inquiries about her past or her sisters would be ignored. Jane Del Vecchio, sister. Agent. God damn it. There's so much here. Doesn't work. Rougher tunes. I always thought about Rafferty tunes. Clark Rafferty LaRue. Oh, how does it work? Clark was at a department store getting a family portrait with his wife and children. And when his wife was trying to get his youngest, Katrina, to calm down for the picture, he had the idea for the Roottrees Super Bowl ad. I'm confused. Mm-hmm. Oliver play. Oliver actors. Nothing. Got a list of names, so. Kimaru. Jane and Kim. I'm so confused about this. On the Raffertoons website, it was labeled the inspiration for the famous ad campaign. Clark was in a department store getting a family portrait with his wife and children, while his one was trying to get Katrina, his youngest, to calm down. For the picture, he had the idea for the Roottrees Super Bowl ad. What else is around here? What is this? Oh, the okay. What is this? What is this? The notorious Montjoys. The Montjoy, Bunyan, and then Montjoy. Okay. This just tells you that it goes from youngest to oldest. 57, 58, 42. No, these are not siblings. And these two married. So you got 81, 89, 89. Two 89s. And then 92. Whoa, ho, ho. Anything else here? Mystery Comics, number 9, Tiles of Suspense, 15 cents. Riot Girl. Right. Okay. Evidence. Get it off. I am so confused. There's three things here. Got this picture. It says Raina's new clothes were a hit with other parents, including Carl's cousin Jim Roottrie, a notable singer who had a young daughter around the same age as Raina. This is your uncle. And this is your cousin. How does it work? A second cousin. The Ernie Jr. So I got very confused on the whole thing here about the LaRue, Jim, and Diamond. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpa insisted he spend time with Dad and me. As a result, Clark and I grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters. What is this? Diamond and I. What is going on here? Only great grandson Elias Roottree could make this go this sweet. Credited by blah blah blah. I'm so confused. Thinking about this. Diamond LaRue. Jim Roottrie is on the notable Roottrie list. Blah blah blah. C and J and J and D. Clark and Jane with my cousin and his ex. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpa insisted he spend time with my dad and me. As a result, Clark and I grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters. When Diamond walked in on... Diamond is married on Jane, but Diamond working on Clark in bed with her younger sister, everything exploded. No more family band. But even then, you might agree, he always was more interested in catchy tunes, something you home a week later. I've been told rolling is like that. But that wasn't my goal when he called me up. Rolling is a song, right? Rolling, yeah. The wrong direction musically. Raffer tunes. Most of the decade he was a mess, but he's a lot happier now. Just paying more attention. That's also how my father was connected to Roottrie. All of his old ad campaigns were hung on the walls. So... Jim. His cousin? Could this be Carl? Where am I putting Carl? Sorry, Clark. Clark Rafferty. I'm thinking that the Roottrie here is a lady. I'm gonna make an assumption here. Clark. Who is... How does this go? He divorced 2 times. He never knew his father, so definitely his mother is a Roottrie. This is Jim speaking. Wow. Oh, so good. My brain is tickling. Diamond, married to you. He's not an actor. He's an artist, actually a singer, but he's not. Comedian, construction, dancer, doctor, driver, farmer, fire, housewife, interior, lawyer, manufacturing, mechanic, media, musician. There you go. There's a picture. LaRue Diamond. You can also call him a musician, done it. And it could be Jacob or Chris. Wait a second. Who had two children here? No one. Fuck, I might be fucking up here. What is this? Adoption or otherwise. Oh my god, I'm gonna keep searching for the notable Roottrees. Lauren. Author. Lauren Roottree, distant relative of the Roottrees sisters. Is known for her book A Life Between Mars. According to a website of a famous author in the early 1960s, Lauren released a few romance novels under the married name Lauren Rafferty. There we go. Publisher link. She had been keeping diaries about her famous family. They insisted she release them under her original name, Lauren Roottree, to take advantage of her family's notoriety. The selection of diary entries, released 1965, A Life Between Wars. Released in 1965 as A Life Between Wars. Spans from the untimely death of her husband in World War II to coping with the post-war world as a young widow and mother, as well as her perspectives on changing times and society all the way through the entry into Vietnam. While the content is not considered particularly relevant to modern audiences, it has found new life as an exercise in high school English classes to show an evolution in writing style and for a look into life in previous generation. After the success of her diaries, her publisher re-released her romance novel under the name Lauren Roottree. This included romance in court. In popularity, she followed the re-release by writing 2 new sequels, creating what fans refer to as the Court Jester series. Sorry. You find no recent details about Lauren, though she is listed as retired. Bunch of things to look for here, okay? Has been completed recently for schools. A lot of libraries, okay. You see, I've hit the jackpot here. This is a book occasionally taught in schools. You can find a hardcover edition for students that has full-page, high-quality pictures in it. A summary of the contents of the book, photos, as well as some of the particular relevant entries from the diary have been added to your evidence. Okay, cool. inspiration along with brothers. First and most famous of a series of books, also called in the Court Yeser series. All three books in the series are about different romances, but told via the same narrator. You can probably surmise the narrator's professions. The two other books are called Return to Court and New Romance in Court. The book had some popularity when they were released in the 1960s. Now 30 years later, they are in high demand. That's it. So, public library. Clancy. Shit. What does that mean? Clancy. Damn. There's two Clancys here. Where will we put her? Here? Lauren? There's Clancy Edward. And then a Clancy Jr. makes sense. Let's go and check the evidence here. A Life Between Wars, extracts from the diaries of a Roottrie, Schoolbound Publishing. Yeah, we got a picture here. There you go. Okay, this is A Life Between Wars notes. You may well skimming through Laura Ruth's diary pages in Life Between Wars. Whoa. Damn, this woman has a lot. Lauren Roottrees. On the notable Roottrees listing your evidence, you will be marking the chart. The book was published and consists of diary entries traced 1940 and 65. The most important event in much of the diary and Lauren's thoughts revolve around was the loss of her husband, Jacob. While Lauren was pregnant, this left her to raise her client. Oh, cool. Lauren never remarried. and only had one child. By skimming the pages of the diary, you glean the following information. She was the granddaughter of Elias and Gwyneth on her father's side. Cool. We know this. Her mother's family was called the Cosels, but she hardly ever mentions them. Her father, who she always referred to as Pop, was the head lawyer for the Roottree Candy Company and helped write a legal document called the Clan's Trust. Gee, there's so much information here. Oh, it keeps going. It's clear from context that the Roottrees have internal shorthand names for the different generations of their family. Lauren uses them often. So in 5 pieces, the first generation of children by Gwyneth and Elias. Lauren's father was in this generation. The next generation, Lauren's generation, and the Free Spirits, the generation after Lauren's, including her son. This is... Look at this. An entry titled Complaints from Lauren Rootree's diary reading in 1953. This entry seems to focus specifically on one of Lauren's family members, Gwen, who is on the notable Rootrees list. It seems everyone has something to complain about Gwen. As an only child, complained of loneliness. I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it fell on deaf ears. Oh. During the summer where I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot, I hoped she would be the sister I never had, but that I'd do the same for her. I even tried to dye my hair blonde to fit in with the 2 of them. What a mess, but she just complained to her. I was the lucky cousin. This is another clue. I'm just writing everything. Now she's off living the glamorous life while I'm stuck here with Clark. I must admit, seeing her everywhere contributes to my unhappiness. Her visage stares at me even from my coffee table. She gets to be in startlet and telltales of how the Galavans around the world kissing the likes of Harrison Lane and Bill Williams. Other than a wife, and I'm jealous. Single mother could make my own way in this world. But I'm off topic. A girl with all the luck in the world was jealous of me. And now, though I have been undoubtedly burdened by terrible tragedy, I am also lucky to be born into a family that can support me for eternity. I can raise a child without worry, unlike countless other widows. If any of them were to hear me complaining, they would rightfully scoff just like I do at Gwen. The Gwen, the only child. Here we go, there's more here. An entry titled Dynasty from Lauren Rootree's diary focuses on the day her grandfather Elias announced he would step down as president of the Roottree Candy Company and the meeting to determine his successor. Here we go. Which had been a fly on the wall that day. Clancy told me that everyone got quite heated. Granddad was furious none of his sons will take over as president, but that's what he gets for holding on to it so long. Who the hell is Clancy? With architects, preachers, and lawyers, nobody got time for candy. So with the 5 pieces refusing to step up, Step up, it came down to us, the next gens. Pop argued at length that the company should stay with our branch of the family, since we still have the Roottree name. I am not sure Clancy would have wanted it, but he's the one who was volunteered. Instead, it ended going to Sack. Even though his surname doesn't match the candy, he's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. Who's Gwen, I believe. No, Gwyneth. No, instead it ended up going to Sack, even though his surname doesn't match the candy. He's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5. Okay, firstborn 5-piece is Gwyneth. So Sack is Gwyneth's son. I'm not sure how that's relevant to running a company, but Granda has always had very particular views when it came to his bloodline. I asked Clancy if it ever came up that a woman could take over. After all, Angie's older than Sack. And I'm next oldest of us all. But he just laughed. I'll never forget the cuss words Pop used when he told Ma it wouldn't go to us. Mother, ever the quick-witted, at least with catty remarks, countered back, maybe they wanted it to go to the only member of the family who looks like he samples the product. I'm just picking everything. This is so cool. This game is insanely good. Let's see. An entry entitled Sam from Modern Roottree's diary. Reading in 1963 from a previous entry, you learned that Elias Roottree had given in to his wife and announced that Sam, an obscure relative, was to be included in family gatherings. Gwyneth had been pushing to include Sam for quite some time, Lauren writes. Wait. An obscure relative has to be. Whoa. Why Sam? I have many distant relatives I've never met. After all, Granny had sisters and Granddad had a brother or two. But it was told trim their branches from the family tree, so why is Sam special? Nothing adds up. I'm not the only one to realize. Angie. Who's Angie? Angie summoned all the next gens to a secret meeting in Sack's office. Gwen's in Paris, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boys. Shit. Angie summoned all the next gens. Sack's office. Gwen's in Paris, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boys, spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. I didn't recognize I'm at Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy last year. At the end reception, when I asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was complicated. Whoa. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands, Easy and John. Elias. There was an Elias something here. And John. Clancy said the farmhand, Easy and John, when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way to work. Upon hearing that, Sack checked the records and managed to confirm all 3 are on the books. Fuck. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother. Miracle's youngest, not my brother, even chimed in. Whoa, this is good info here. Apparently, when he was riding his mini bike alongside the farm a few weeks ago, Sam gave him some old tools and taught him to make the bike's engine faster. What? Well, Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make the bike engines faster. None of us think that proper for a multitude of reasons, but Eli certainly seems thrilled. At the end of the day, nothing explains why an outsider has cozied into family affairs, especially one who works on the farm of all places. Whatever happened to blood is thicker than syrup? Why is Granddad making an exception now? Nah, last one. One of the final entries called Clark from Lauren Roottree's diary, written 1964. Clark's getting married, and in my opinion, far too young. He's barely 18, for God's sake, and Danielle isn't much older. But openly confronting them will make me a hypocrite. After all, Jacob and I got married at 16. Clark, like the rest of his generation, is a free spirit. What else do you call a group of kids growing up with more money than any one person can spend? They all aspire to be musicians and artists and dancers and all sort of nonsense. The only one who has any discipline is Carl, but that's because Pop forced Clancy to send him in the academy. Forced Clancy to send him in the academy. Maybe I'm just getting old, but our generation was never so bad. My brothers all seemed to pursue path of knowledge, and the most rebellious thing any of us ever did was bring home someone who would be illegal to marry if we lived anywhere south of Pennsylvania. Pop seems to have gotten over it because Edward is set to take over his department once he's retired. And as for me, my first published book, Opa. Whoa. It's based on the pirate stories I used to invent with Jacob when we were walking in the woods after school. I think he'd be proud that Clark and I are carrying on his name. Coffee there. I'm already done. Even my cousins are doing well. Sax, not a bad president, after all. And his sister seems to be doing a good job raising her twins. Whoa! Twins. Gwen and Gwen. Oh, Gwen is Gwen, but at least she came out of the divorce with her head held high. Okay. She even told us she might come home next year so we can meet her kids. But the free spirits in any other family, they'd all end up on the streets. Even Clark. Bro. So much info here. Just from her diaries. So much info there. The 5 pieces. Are these the 5 pieces or these are the parents? Is that Sam? Lauren's diary contains some labeled pictures. This is the 5 pieces caption. The picture was famous in our house. Pop even had it framed. That's him on the left. There you go. It was taken in 1935 to celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo. Who's Angie? Since Miracle was in it, and the 3 of us were all about the same age, we were told only the 5 pieces, which really didn't go over well, to say the least. Eventually, I suppose to stop the tantrums, they posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morton, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. And find out years later that they never ever took a second photo. It's so confusing. What the hell? Are these the 5 pieces? Which really go over well, to say the least. Eventually, I suppose to stop the tantrums, they posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. I find out years later that they never even took a second photo. So they were posting the 5 ones, the 5 pieces. So this is on Gwendolyn. This is Gwen. There's another picture here. Jesus. The next generation. Oh my god. Lauren Diaries contains some labeled pictures. This is the next generation. Caption: an attempt to recapture the spirit of the 5 pieces photo with our generation. For old time's sake, we gather on the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left. Eli. All the way on the left. Since to me, he looked a lot like Pop did in the old one. Oh yeah, when she says Pop is her father. This is her father. She's not talking about her grandfather. Her grandfather. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. From our house, putting her in frame, he was taking an antitrip to move, and we know that Eli Jr. designed. NJ and I both wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it, and the 3 of us were all about the same age. That's him on the left. Okay, he's on the left. Pop. Okay, got it. Damn it. Next picture. This one, yeah. Right, so this is the next generation. Wait, let me just grab this picture here and say like same on the left. I'm assuming that Miracle. I don't know who Eli Jr. is. Maybe the guy in the middle. Angie and I would want to be in the photo. Since Miracle was in it, 3 of us were all about the same age. That's good in photo. Surely didn't go over well, say the least. So Miracle, the little kid, I'm assuming, very young. We got on the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left. Seems to me he looked a lot like Papa in the old one. But I was supported by my brothers. They insisted the 4 of us stand together. I don't get it. We're clumped up in the middle and let everyone filter in behind and in front of us. So they are all these 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Her. And the 3 brothers. Grandma insisted we included Sam, even if we didn't want to. Who's Eli? He looked a lot like Pop in the left picture. So this guy, who looks like him? This guy probably. This is probably Gwen. Only child. No, Gwen here. Only child actor. Yeah. Ooh. Mm-hmm. We might need to move this one over here. I'm confused here. Is that grandma? So Lauren Darren's considered an attempt to recapture the spirit of the 5 photos. For all time's sake, we gathered on the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left. Seems to me he looked a lot like Pop in the old one, so I'm assuming this guy looks a lot like Pop from the old one. But I was voted by my brothers. They insisted the 4 of us stand together, and so we clumped up in the middle and let everyone filter in behind and in front of us. I'm assuming these 4 guys and in front of us. The only one too good to make an appearance was Gwen. Gwen didn't show up. This is not Gwen. Grandma insisted we included Sam, even if we didn't want to. None of us understood why, including Sam. So Sam is here. I don't know who the hell is this guy. All photos here. Also, I didn't think if Fair Miracle made it in, since he's technically a 5-piece. I guess my inner child still holds a grudge after all these years. So Miracle is here. So could this be Miracle? With Miracle Jr. Grandma. No. No, yeah, that's your father. And your Pop. Your grandmother would be this one. So who are all the ladies here? Do we have any more? Yeah, we got these 2 pictures set. These 3 pictures are good. This is set. Woo! So many stuff here. Oh, wow. Woo! It's been 2 hours. Lauren Roottree. It just finished. And there is one more, which is probably this guy, Miracle Jr. But he's not his youngest, which is weird. You know what? Let's start. Let's look up. Let's look up that guy. Because these are the good. These are good people to look for. Oh, sorry, no, this is not what I wanted. I want to look at Spider Search. Miracle Jr. Miracle Jr. doesn't go by his full name in promotional materials. Instead, he has shortened it to Miracle Jr. What? Doesn't go full name, okay. Miracle Jr. is a televangelist who is part of the Miracle Network. He used to have a show that aired on local access across many stations in the northeastern United States. According to a website called Clergy Watch, he was exposed conspiracy to defraud in the public when he claimed to heal someone in a wheelchair. A news expose revealed it was his wife Edith's sister in a disguise. The author also mentions that Edith had a bit of a checker past herself but doesn't clarify. He has since lost his television show and instead goes on tour across the southern United States where he was not well known before this scandal. Okay, a few things here. Miracle, Roottrees. You find a website for the Miracle Network, production company run by Miracle Roottrees State. Whoa. Quite bare bones, but has the following blurb. Witness the testimony of the Miracle's Roottrees. Miracle Roottrees arrived so late in his mother's life that doctors swore he wouldn't survive his first year. His mother and father, Elias and Gwyneth, named him Miracle because they thought him impossible. He was younger than his brother and sister by over 14 years. With birth that late, the final child of his generation was nearly torn apart. The final child of his generation was nearly torn apart by countless health problems, but still, with the power of God on his side, he persevered. He triumphed over these complications and even regained his sight to spread the healing word of the Almighty. Wow. 23 years later, Miracle Roottree Jr. arrived and became the famous family's second vessel for the higher power. At 18, he unburdened himself from the Roottree name and took his father's testimony to a whole new level. Via the power of television, Miracle Jr. spread the gospel across the entirety of New England. He has since left a life of glamour and glitz behind to reach those places that he need most. The power of the Lord coming to a town near you. Below blows a flyer about the tour, which is in your evidence. Cool. In disguise, there's also mentioned that Edith had a bit of a checker past. Miracle. I saw this already, right? Cool. This one, Miracle Roottrees State. Nothing. What else is here? Oh boy. Here we go. Witness the power of the Lord in the Summer 96. 3 Generations of Miracles tour. featuring testimony of the world-famous Miracle Jr. and a special appearance from Miracle Roottree in his 68th year on God's earth. Children now welcome celebrate with your pastor, Miracle Third, and his wife Nicole. I'm confused. All the miracles. 3 generations of miracles. We got 2 pictures here. Who's who? Flyer here, then lists are Miracle Jr., who is said to be world famous and gets top billing. Miracle Jr. is on the notable Roottrees list in your evidence. He will be marked on the chart with a star. Miracle Roottree, who the flyer says will make a special appearance, and Miracle Third and his wife Nicole, who are said to be the youth pastors. Let's go to the chart. We got Miracle Jr., and Miracle Third. He's the famous guy. And we got cha-cha-cha. Which Nicole? In here, they had Miracle. Missing one eye. Wait. Pastor, wife Nicole. Pastor, this guy, who is it? Architect, artist, maybe cashier, chef, comedian, construction, dancer, hairdresser, media mogul. This could be media mogul as well. Preacher. Principal, professor, public speaker, retail screenwriter, secretary, student, college student, K-12, travel agent. Oh, I got someone. These 3 entries are correct and have been locked. You've also unlocked the following optional entries. Yay. Yay. Booyah. What is this? So we got Jim, who's a musician, Roottree Miracle Jr., who's a preacher, and Roottree Miracle Third, who's also a preacher. Oh. What is this? Why are you going back? Oh, these guys. I got Diamond LaRue, Edith Jacobson, this picture, and this picture. Booyah.
You're on a roll. I'll try to keep that momentum going. Carl's office was a mess, thanks to some burst pipes. But I unearthed a photo from a 1970s Roottree reunion. I also found some important-looking papers.
Wow.
You've
That's a lot.
traced 9 blood relatives so far. I'll have more to share after you find 9 more.
Okay. Woo! We already have to go through all my notes of Lauren, which are so much. Look at all the crap I uncovered here. I need to dig deeper into this. And Miracle Jr., I think we still need to figure out which Nicole is this one. I guess I can assume one for now. Name him Miracle because of blah, blah, blah. You know what? I'm just going to make the assumption right away. Nicole. I'm going to say Smith. Should have put it. See if we validated it. I think it's because it said that Gwen had twins? Is that what it was? Gwendolyn. Where the hell would we put Sam here? Margolite. This wasn't validated, so hey, Carl. I haven't verified this guy. You're fucking with me. Pop. Is this her? All these are single child. One kid, one kid, one kid, and one kid. Alright, I'm just gonna take a break here. We'll come next for that second set of 9 relatives. I'll see you then.